Margaret's phone slips from her trembling hand and clatters against the kitchen floor. The police officer standing in her doorway just told her that her son is dead and that he was on his phone when it happened. One missed call, 6:47 a.m. She was awake. She heard it ring. She didn't answer. The police officer standing in her doorway shifts uncomfortably. "Ma'am, I'm sorry for your loss. Your son's vehicle left the road at approximately 7:15 this morning. He died on impact." She can't breathe, can't think. The words bounce around her skull like broken glass. David, her David, dead at 32. "He was on his phone when it happened," the officer continues, his voice gentle but professional. "We found it at the scene. I'm very sorry." After he leaves, Margaret stands frozen in her entryway, staring at nothing. The morning sun streams through the windows, indifferent to her devastation. She hasn't spoken to David in 10 years. 10 years of silence, 10 years of waiting for a call that never came. Until today. Her phone. She scrambles to pick it up from where it fell, her arthritic fingers fumbling with the screen. One missed call, unknown number, 6:47 a.m. She was awake. She heard it ring. She let it go to voicemail. One new voicemail. 8 minutes and 43 seconds long. Margaret's heart hammers against her ribs as she presses play and lifts the phone to her ear with shaking hands. Static, rain, heavy breathing, then his voice, older, rougher, but unmistakably him. "Mom." A pause. "Mom, it's David. I know you probably won't answer. I wouldn't either, but I need to tell you something. I should have called years ago. God, I should have called so many times." She collapses into a chair, her whole body trembling. "I'm in the car right now. I'm coming to see you. I left at 5 this morning because I couldn't wait anymore. I'm about 2 hours away, maybe less. I know I should have called first, but I was afraid you'd tell me not to come, that you'd hang up, that the door you closed 10 years ago was closed forever." Margaret's sob catches in her throat. He was coming here. He was driving to her. His voice continues, nervous energy building. "I've been practicing what I'd say to you. I've rehearsed it 1,000 times in my head. But now, driving through this rain, I realize I don't need a speech. I just need to tell you the truth." The sound of windshield wipers fills the silence. She can picture him, white-knuckling the steering wheel, working up courage. "I'm a father now, Mom. I have a daughter. Emma. She's 6 months old." Margaret gasps, tears spilling down her cheeks. A granddaughter. She has a granddaughter. When Sarah handed her to me in the hospital and I looked at her face for the first time, his voice cracks. "I finally understood everything, all of it, what you must have felt when I was born. What it means to love someone so much it terrifies you. What it means to want to protect someone from the whole world, even from themselves." She's crying openly now, pressing the phone harder against her ear, as if she could somehow reach through it and touch him. "I hold Emma at night when she can't sleep, and I think about all those nights you must have held me. All those times I took for granted, all the sacrifices you made, that I was too selfish to see." Margaret remembers 14-hour shifts as a nurse to keep them afloat after David's father left. Remembers birthday parties she threw on nothing, Christmas mornings she made magical with no money. Remembers loving him so fiercely it consumed her. "The therapist I've been seeing, yeah, I'm in therapy now, can you believe it? She helped me understand something. I blamed you for Dad leaving. I know that doesn't make sense. Like, I know he's the one who walked out on us when I was 13. But I guess it was easier to be angry at you because you stayed. Because you were there to be angry at." Her mind flashes back. David at 15, slamming doors. David at 17, coming home at dawn, smelling like alcohol. David at 19, his eyes bloodshot and hollow. "You were so strict with me after Dad left. The curfews, the rules, the questions about where I was going and who I was with. I hated it. I told you that you were suffocating me, that you were ruining my life. But you were just trying to save me, weren't you? You saw me spiraling and you were trying to catch me before I fell too far." Margaret's voice is a whisper in her empty kitchen. "I was, baby. I was trying to save you. I fell anyway. You know I did. The drinking got worse. Then the pills. Then worse than that. I stole from you, Mom. I lied to your face over and over. I watched you cry and I blamed you for my choices." She remembers the missing money, the jewelry that disappeared, the day she found the pills hidden in his room and confronted him. That last fight we had. God, Mom, I've replayed it in my head 10,000 times. You gave me an ultimatum. You said I could stay if I got help, if I went to rehab, if I tried. But I had to try. You said you loved me too much to watch me destroy myself. Margaret can see it like it's happening now. David's face contorted with rage, his words like weapons. I told you that you never loved me, that you just wanted to control me, that Dad left because of you, and I could see why. I said horrible things, Mom, things I didn't mean, things I can never take back. I forgive you, Margaret whispers to the empty room, I forgive you. And you said, God, you said if you leave, don't come back. And I said, fine, and I walked out that door, and I didn't look back. I was 22 and I thought I knew everything. I thought I was going to prove you wrong, prove I could make it without you. The rain sounds heavier now in the recording. She hears him clear his throat. I hit rock bottom 6 months later. Lost my job, lost my apartment. Woke up in a hospital after an overdose. And you know what the worst part was? I wanted to call you. I wanted my mom. But I was too ashamed, too proud. I told you not to wait for me, that I'd never come crawling back. Margaret is sobbing now, her whole body shaking. I would have come. I would have dropped everything and come. It took me 2 more years to get sober, really sober. I've been clean for 3 years now, Mom. 3 years, 2 months, and 14 days. I go to meetings. I have a sponsor. I work an honest job in construction. I met Sarah there. She's a project manager. She's the one who convinced me to call you. If you're watching this, and you've ever had someone you needed to forgive or someone you needed to ask forgiveness from, leave a comment below. Sometimes sharing our stories helps us heal. Sarah was pregnant when I told her about you, about how we haven't spoken in a decade. She said, David, our daughter deserves to know her grandmother, and your mother deserves to know she has a granddaughter. Whatever happened between you, whatever was said, it's been 10 years. Life's too short. His voice grows stronger, more determined. I was scared, Mom, terrified. What if you'd moved on? What if you'd built a life without me and didn't want me back in it? What if you'd remarried and your new family didn't have room for your screw-up son? What if you said the door I slammed was locked forever? Never, Margaret breathes. Never, my baby. But then Emma was born, 6 pounds, 7 ounces. She has your nose, Mom. Isn't that crazy? She has your nose and your eyes, and when she looks at me, I see you looking at me when I was little, before everything went wrong, before I broke both our hearts. Thunder rumbles in the background of the recording. I've been working up the courage to call you for months. Every Sunday I'd pick up the phone and stare at your number. Sarah saved it in my contacts. She found it somehow. And every Sunday I'd put the phone down. What if you didn't answer? What if you hung up? What if hearing my voice hurt you? It wouldn't have hurt, Margaret says through her tears. It would have healed me. Last night I was giving Emma her bottle at 3 a.m. She was looking up at me with those big eyes and I just started crying. Sarah found me in the nursery, sobbing, holding our daughter. And I told her I couldn't wait anymore. I couldn't let another day pass without telling you I'm sorry, without telling you that you were right about everything. Without telling you that I love you and I've loved you every single day for 10 years, even when I was too broken to show it. His voice is thick with emotion now, words tumbling out faster. So I got in the car before I could change my mind. I'm driving through this rain and my heart is pounding and I'm terrified, but I'm coming anyway. I'm coming to knock on your door and beg you to forgive me, to meet your granddaughter, to let me try to be your son again. Margaret stands abruptly, pacing her kitchen like she can somehow walk back in time, walk to where he is, stop what's about to happen. I know I can't erase the years. I can't give you back the time I stole from us. But Mom, I want to try. I want Emma to know the woman who raised me, who fought for me even when I fought against you. I want her to know her grandmother's strength and love and grace. If this story is touching your heart, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more stories about forgiveness, family, and second chances. I've changed, Mom. I'm not that angry kid anymore. I'm not that addict who stole from you and lied to you. I'm a father. I'm sober. I'm responsible. I pay my bills. I show up for work. I'm becoming the man you always believed I could be, even when I didn't believe it myself. The rain is torrential now. She can barely hear him over the downpour. I'm so sorry for the things I said, for telling you that you didn't love me when you loved me more than anything, for blaming you for Dad's weakness, for making you choose between watching me die slowly or letting me go. That wasn't fair. None of it was fair to you. I understand, Margaret whispers. I understand now. You were just a mom trying to save her son, and I was just a kid too hurt and too proud to let himself be saved. But I'm saved now, Mom. I saved myself, but it's because of you. Because somewhere in my darkest moments, I could hear your voice telling me I was worth saving, that I was loved, that I mattered. She's gripping the counter now, knuckles white. I can see the exit now. Another hour, maybe less. My hands are shaking on the wheel. I keep thinking about what I'll say when you open the door. If you open the door, maybe you'll slam it in my face. Maybe I deserve that. But I have to try. I have to try because Emma deserves a grandmother and you deserve to know you have a granddaughter. And I deserve a chance to make things right. His voice lifts, carrying a note of hope that breaks her heart. Maybe we could have breakfast? Remember how we used to go to that diner on Sunday mornings? The one with the pancakes you loved? Is it still there? We could go there. You could meet Emma. Sarah would come too. She wants to meet you so badly. She says anyone who raised someone as determined as me to get better must be remarkable. Margaret is smiling through her tears, imagining it, the booth by the window. Coffee and pancakes, her granddaughter in her arms. I'm going to be a good father, Mom. The kind of father Dad wasn't. The kind you deserve to have as a partner. I'm going to show up for Emma every day. I'm going to love her and protect her and never make her doubt for 1 second that she matters more than anything in this world. His voice softens, becomes almost tender. Just like you did for me. Even when I couldn't see it. Even when I threw it back in your face. You showed up for me every single day until the day I walked out. And even then, I bet you were showing up, weren't you? Waiting for me to come home. Every day, Margaret breathes. Every single day. I love you, Mom. I should have said that more. I should have said it every day. I should have said it instead of those horrible things I said the last time I saw you. I love you, and I'm sorry, and I'm coming home, and please, please give me another chance. Please let me... The sound of tires screeching, hydroplaning, a sickening crunch of metal and shattering glass. Then nothing. Silence. Margaret screams. A sound torn from somewhere deep and primal. The phone falls again and she falls with it, collapsing to her knees on the cold kitchen floor. She can't breathe, can't see through the tears, can't process what she's just heard. Her son's last words, his last moments, his death recorded and sent to her voicemail like some cruel cosmic joke. She doesn't know how long she stays there. Minutes, hours. The sun moves across her floor. Her coffee goes cold. Her phone lights up with messages from the police, from the medical examiner, from people she'll need to call back. But she can't move, can't function, can't exist in a world where her son finally apologized, finally came home and died 8 minutes before she could tell him she forgave him years ago. He didn't know. He died not knowing that she forgave him the moment he walked out the door, that she never stopped loving him. That there was never a moment in 10 years when she wouldn't have opened that door and pulled him into her arms. She heard the phone ring at 6:47. She was awake, drinking her coffee, watching the sunrise. She saw unknown number and she didn't answer because she never answered unknown numbers. If she'd answered, would she have kept him on the phone? Would those 8 minutes have been enough to save him? The what-ifs threatened to destroy her. But then, slowly, through the grief, something else emerges. He called. He didn't die angry. He didn't die hating her. He died loving her, coming home to her, wanting her in his life. He died sober and changed and hopeful. He died as a father who understood. He died knowing he wanted to make things right. That has to matter. That has to mean something. 1 week later, Margaret stands outside an apartment in a neighborhood she's never visited. Her hands shake as she raises them to knock. The door opens before she can. A young woman with kind eyes and dark hair pulled back in a ponytail looks at her. You must be Margaret. Please come in. David talked about you all the time. Margaret's voice is barely a whisper. He did. Every day. Sarah steps aside, welcoming her into a small but tidy apartment. especially after Emma was born. He'd hold her and talk about his mom, about how brave you were, how much you sacrificed. He was working up the courage to reach out. I'm just so sorry. Margaret sees the photos on the walls. David smiling, healthy, his eyes clear and bright. David in a hard hat at a construction site. David holding a tiny bundle wrapped in pink. David who lived an entire life she never got to witness. I have something for you, Sarah says, disappearing into another room. She returns carrying a baby, 6 months old, with wispy brown hair and enormous eyes. This is Emma, your granddaughter. Margaret's tears fall on Emma's soft hair as she takes her, cradling the baby against her chest. The weight of her, the warmth, the second chance she doesn't deserve but is being given anyway. He was a good man, Sarah says quietly. Whatever he was before, however he struggled, the David I knew was good and kind and trying so hard to be better every day. He loved you so much. His biggest regret was the time he wasted being afraid to come home. Margaret looks down at Emma, who's staring up at her with curious eyes. David's eyes. Her eyes. Let me tell you about your father, Margaret whispers to her granddaughter. Let me tell you about the boy who laughed too loud and climbed too high and loved with his whole heart. Let me tell you about the man who made mistakes but found his way back. Let me tell you about second chances and forgiveness and love that never dies, even when we think it's buried too deep to find. Emma grasps Margaret's finger with her tiny hand, and Margaret feels something inside her chest unlock. The grief is still there, heavy and vast. But so is this tiny person who carries David forward, who gives Margaret a reason to wake up tomorrow and the day after and all the days to come. She saved the voicemail. It lives on her phone, marked with a heart. Some nights she listens to it, letting his voice wash over her. Letting herself say the things she never got to say to him. I forgive you, I love you, welcome home. The door he slammed 10 years ago was never locked. She would have opened it at any moment. But he found his way back anyway, in the only way he could. Through Emma, through Sarah, through 8 minutes and 43 seconds of truth recorded in rain and desperation and hope. Some conversations happen too late for the words to be spoken out loud. But they happen anyway, in the space between heartbeats, in the weight of what's left unsaid, in the love that survives everything, even death, even time, even silence. Margaret rocks her granddaughter gently, whispering stories about a boy who got lost but found his way home. And somewhere, in whatever comes after, she hopes David knows. She hopes he finally knows that the door was always open, that she was always waiting. That love, real love, never gives up, even when it has to wait 10 years to be heard. If this story moved you, please share it with someone who needs to hear it. Hit subscribe so you never miss our stories, and leave a comment telling us, what would you say if you had one more chance? Because sometimes we get that chance, and sometimes we have to make peace with the words we never got to speak. The last voicemail remains a testament, a goodbye, a hello, an ending that's also a beginning. And Margaret plays it again, listening to her son come home.